Good morning to everyone at today's public hearing of the Prosecutor Vetting Commission. My name is Christopher Lehman, the chairperson of the commission, and I declare this session to be open. The commission is established under Law 252 of the External Evaluation of Judges and Prosecutors. Article 22, paragraph 13 of that law provides that this commission will assess candidates for the Superior Council of Prosecutors Selection and Evaluation Board, according to the procedures and criteria regulated by Law 26 of 2022 on measures related to the selection of candidates for the position of members in the self-administration bodies of the prosecutors. The hearings being conducted under the Commission's rules of procedure for evaluations under Law 26 of 2022. And our candidate today is Corneliu Lavciuc, a candidate for the Superior Council of Prosecutors Selection and Evaluation Board. Mr. Lavciuc, good morning and welcome to the hearing. I'm joined by my colleagues today, Cornel Lebedinsky to my far left, Saskia de Vries to my left, and Ermantis Mikolonis to my right. I'll note for the record that Nadezhda Hryptievsky is self-recused from consideration of this matter, but we do have a quorum present to consider it. The commission is also assisted today by members of our secretariat. The hearing is open to the public and to the media. The hearing will be conducted in interpretation into English and Romanian. I would ask you to speak slowly and clearly to facilitate the interpretation. The proceedings are being recorded, and the recordings of the Commission's public hearings will be available online on our website, which is www.vettingmd.org, and that will be done within 3 days after the hearing. Mr. Lavciuc, during the hearing, one or more members of the Commission may ask you questions. Please answer truthfully and completely. Your explanations are important to the Commission in evaluating financial and ethical integrity. In formulating our questions, we will take into account your privacy and, where required and possible, the privacy of family members and close persons. We'll leave out unnecessary details related to ID numbers, bank account numbers, specific addresses of real estate, and the like, and for your own privacy, we would ask you to do the same in your responses. At the end of the hearing, we will provide an opportunity for you to make a closing statement to the Commission. I'll start by briefly reviewing the evaluation process for Mr. Lavciuc. The Commission initiated its evaluation on the 22nd of December, 2023 by notifying you by email and asking you to complete and return ethics questionnaire and a financial declaration. Mr. Lavciuc, you did return those completed questionnaires and declarations on the 29th of December, 2023. As part of the process of evaluating a candidate's ethical and financial integrity, the Commission also obtains information from many other sources. Those include the National Integrity Authority, the State Fiscal Service, General Inspectorate of the Border Police, other public institutions, financial institutions, and open source information. The Commission assesses information it obtains from those sources for relevance and reliability. We also sent you 4 rounds of questions on the 29th of March of this year, 18th of April, 2nd of May, and the 17th of May of this year, to which you responded. On the 23rd of May, the Commission invited you to attend today's public hearing. At that time, we notified you of specific topics to be addressed at the hearing today. Mr. Lavciuc, thank you again for appearing today before the Commission. I will begin with a few questions. We ask you to respond in a complete and truthful manner. 2 questions. First, I want to just ask if you wish to make any additions or corrections to the answers that you previously provided to the Commission's request for information.
Hello, Chairperson, esteemed members. am fost sincer, deschis și
I
am
was
fost
honest
pentru a
and
răspunde
open. I was
corect la întrebări
diligent in
și
answering
altcum nu am
questions
ce la
truthfully, and I have nothing to add right now.
Thank you very much. And I would just ask you, the answers that you provided in the 5-year declaration and the ethics questionnaire that were returned on the 29th of December 2023, are those still accurate as of today, May 31st, 2024?
Da, așa este.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you. My colleague, Irmantis Michalonis, will begin with our questions to you. Again, I ask you to respond in a complete and truthful manner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So, good morning, Mr. Lavciuc. First of all, I would like to thank for already provided information to the Commission written questions, but we still have some questions regarding possible conflict of interest that could exist during examination of lawyer Grigore Ciobanu request in 2016. According to the information available to the Commission, on April 20, 2016, the Prosecutor General Office received a request from lawyer Grigore Ciobanu on behalf of convicted Ivan Grosso regarding initiating the criminal proceedings review procedure based on Article 458, paragraph 2.2 of the Criminal Procedure Code. This request was forwarded to the Chisinau Military Prosecutor Office for examination on May 3, 2016. Upon receiving the request for review, Ivan Grosso, the son of the convicted Ivan Grosso, served as a prosecutor at the Military Prosecutor Office in the Chisinau. In light of this, on May 12, 2016, Military Prosecutor Nikolai Dmitriev addressed the General Prosecutor Office requesting consideration of the possibility of relocating the case materials to another prosecutor office or division with the General Prosecutor Office to avoid suspicions regarding the impartiality of the review process. By the resolution of Deputy Prosecutor General Yuri Garaba, the examination of the materials was assigned to interim chief prosecutor of the Investigation and Crime Section of the Armed Forces with the General Prosecutor Office, Sergio Croitoro, who, on May 16, 2016, redirected them for the examination in accordance with the provisions of Article 458 of the Criminal Procedure Code to you. By your order of May 23, 2016, the opening of the review procedure of the criminal trial was ordered, and later you drew up conclusions regarding admission of the request for review. Is this information correct?
Da, așa este.
Yes, that's true. The information that the Commission has provided by me and presented now by the Commission is true.
In the first round of written questions, you were asked to explain your relationship with Prosecutor Ivan Grosso, the son of convicted Ivan Grosso. You explained that there was no friendship between you and Prosecutor Ivan Grosso. You just worked in the same prosecutor office. Your relationship was strictly professional. According to the information available to the Commission, you were colleagues with Ivan Grosso from 2006 to 2007, both military prosecutors in the Chisinau Military Prosecutor Office. Is this information correct?
Da, este veridică informația.
Yes, this information is correct.
Could you specify your relationship with the prosecutor Ivan Grosso? Have you had any other relationship with Ivan Grosso besides a working relationship?
Mulțumesc pentru întrebare.
Thank you
Într-adevăr,
for
a
your
fost
question.
A fost doar o relație de serviciu,
Indeed,
da,
it
m-am aflat
was
într-un birou
strictly
împreună cu încă 3 persoane,
working
cu
relationship.
domnul
We
Grosu.
were, the three
Am
more people, we
lucrat,
were working
nu
in
am
one
avut
office.
careva tangenți,
We
nu
were
suntem
working
rude,
together.
fiind,
We had no other connections. We are not
conform
relatives.
Articolul 33 din Codul de Procedură
According to Article
Penală,
33 of
conform
Criminal
căreia eu
Procedure
aș
Code,
fi
according
putut
to
să mă
which
refuz sau să mă
I
recuz de la
could have
gestionarea acestei
abstained
cereri care mi-a fost
from
repartizată din
examining
start,
this
chiar nici nu
request, which was
cunoșteam
directed to me
că
from the beginning. I actually
dânsii
did
sunt
not
cumva
know that
legați, adică,
they were
da, știam că
somehow
este așa o
connected.
persoană,
I mean,
dar
I
nu m-am
knew
gândit
there
că
was such a
este
person. I
posibil
did not
tatăl
think
dânsului.
it was his father.
Fapt care l-am aflat pe
I
parcursul
found out
examinării
about
și
that
studiind
while
materialele.
examining the case and studying the materials.
Did you have a relationship outside of work with Ivan Grosso before 2016? Have you spent your free time together with Ivan Grosso?
Timp petrecut împreună cu
Time
Ivan
spent
Grosu
together
după
with
ce am
Ivan
plecat din
Grosu after
Procuratura
I left the
Militară
military
de
prosecutor's
Chișinău,
office
în
of
secția
Chișinău
investigații și infracțiuni în forțe de armați, se limita,
the section of
adică
investigation
ne
and
întruneam
crime in
doar
armed
la
forces,
ședințele operative care erau
meant that we
petrecute
only
lunar sau
met during
trimestrial,
operative meetings that
unde
were
erau
held
discutate
monthly or
probleme
quarterly,
legislative,
where
adică
legal
era
matters were
ordinul
being
procurorului
discussed. So
general
it was
prin
an
care,
order from the Prosecutor General,
structurile respective
according
sau
to which these
ori eram toate
subdivisions,
procuraturile
so
împreună,
it was
discutam
either
aceste
bringing
subiecte
together all
de
prosecutors'
ordin
offices together and
legislativ
we
sau
were
indicații
discussing
sau,
some legal
dar
aspects
însăși
or some
aparte cu domnul
orders that
Grosu n-am
existed.
avut
But
careva
separately
întâlniri
with
decât
Mr.
cele
Grosu,
legate
I
strict
did not
legate
have
de
any
serviciu.
other meeting than the
Nu
one
am
strictly related to our
nicio
job.
fel de relație
No
mai specială
kind
decât
of special
toți colegii
relationship
care eram.
that would be different from relationships with other colleagues.
When you received a request from lawyer Grigore Ciobanu on behalf of convicted Ivan Grosu regarding initiation of the criminal proceedings review procedure for the examination in 2016, did you inform your superior prosecutors about your relationship with the prosecutor Ivan Grosu? If yes, who was informed about your relationship?
Deci, la moment când mi-a fost repartizată
When
cererea de revizuire a
that
procesului penal sau
request
adresarea
to
avocatului în
review the
interesele
criminal proceedings was
inculpatului Ivan
directed
Grosu,
to me
eram în
from the lawyer
secție
representing
prin
Ivan
4
Grosu.
colaboratori,
Out of 4
dintre care unul
members
era
of that
șef, eram
section,
doar
one
eu
of them
și
was
cu domnul
chief.
Croitor, care era
It
șef
was only
interimar
me and
în
Mr.
acel
Croitor,
moment.
who was interim
Adică
chief at that
eu
time.
eram procuror de
So
execuție,
I was
iar domnul
a
Croitor
prosecutor that
îl
was
înlocuia șeful care
executing
tot se
tasks,
afla
and
în
Mr. Croitor was
perioada
replacing the
concediului de
chief
odihnă.
who was
Eu,
on
după
vacation
ce
at that
am
time. So
recepționat
after I
cererea,
received that
adică mi-au
request,
apărut dubii că
I had
asemenea familii și un nume
doubts
este
that
cunoscut și
like
pe urmă
that
m-am
name and
interesat. Am
surname
raportat
sounded
domnului
familiar. So when I
Croitor, care era șef
tried
la
to
acel
find out, and
moment,
I told Mr.
dânsul
Procurator, who was the acting chief at that
a
time,
raportat la,
he reported
la
this
lui
to
perioadă ulterioară tot conducerii, însă cred că ne-a
at
fost
some later
repartizată
point
cererea
to the
numai
management,
nouă
but
ca
I think that
instanță, era
request was
superioară
directed
față de
to
Procuratura
us
Militară
as
Chișinău, care eram
the
o subdiviziune
superior
din cadrul
entity to
Procuraturii
the
Generale, anume
military
pentru a exclude
prosecutor's
careva
office
dubii din
of
cauza
Chișinău,
că
because
domnul
we
Dimitriev
were part
și-a retras, a
of
solicitat
Prosecutor
repartizarea
General's
altei
office,
secții sau
because Mr. Dimitriev
subdiviziuni.
asked
Adică
for
eu am
that request to be
raportat,
directed to
nu știu
another
dacă în
section
scris,
or
dar
another
verbal,
subdivision of the prosecutor's office.
orice
So I
caz,
reported. I
ne
don't remember
cunoșteam,
whether it was in writing or
absolut
verbally,
toți procurorii
but
militari și oricare
you know, all military
dintre
prosecutors
colegii
knew
mei
each
care nu
other.
ar fi
So any
recepționat,
of
dacă
my
erau
colleagues
alții
who
atunci la
would have
moment în secții,
received that
cred că
request
erau
working in that
exact așa să procedeze,
section,
pentru că
I think they would have
eram,
done the same thing,
maxim
because
tot teritoriul
on
Republicii
the entire
Moldova,
territory of Moldova,
32 de
it
procurori
was
militari.
at most
Adică,
32 military prosecutors on the
seama
entire
că,
territory of the country. So
eram
you can
strict
understand
legați
that,
de serviciu. Nu
well,
știu
we were
dacă
strictly
dânsul are
connected by
careva
work. I
relații
don't know if
de
he
rudenie
has
cu
any
alți colegi de lui, chiar
kinship
nu mi-e
relations
cunoscut și
with
nici nu m-am
other
interesat.
colleagues of mine. I don't know that. I never was interested in that.
Did you contact Prosecutor Ivan Grosu directly or indirectly during the examination of lawyers Grigore Ciobanu request in 2016?
Nu l-am contactat și
No,
nu am
I did
solicitat
not
careva
contact him. I did
poziția
not
dânsului
ask
față de Doar am
about
întrebat dacă,
his
dar
position
asta am
about
văzut
it.
din
But
materiale, pentru că domnul
I saw that
Dimitriev,
in the
care era
materials that
șeful
Mr.
lui
Dimitriev, who was
nemijlocit, a
his direct
solicitat
manager,
însuși
line manager,
redistribuirea
he
materialelor, pentru
asked
că
for
dânsul
the
era
case materials to be
fiul
redistributed
condamnatului,
because
adică
he
tatăl
was
său
the
cu
son
același nume și prenume. Nu
of
am
a
avut
convicted
careva
person
întâlniri,
with the same
mi-am
name and surname. So
executat, la
we
părerea
did
mea,
not have any meetings.
obligațiile
I
care
fulfilled my
reieșeau
duties, in my opinion, which
din atribuțiile
resulted
funcționale
from
și
my
așa aș fi
job
procedat
duties,
cu
and
oricare
I would
cerere
have done the
care
same with
urma
any
să-mi fie
request
repartizat.
that would
Nu am
be assigned
favorizat
to
sau
me.
nu am
I
atras o
have not
atenție sau nu am
favored, I
fost
did not
influențat, pentru că
pay any
ca
particular attention. I was not
în poziția că nu am
influenced,
avut careva
like I
influențări din-
supporting his
sau
position,
întâlniri,
or
în special cu
I
tatăl
had
lui,
no
în baza
meetings,
materialelor,
especially with his father. So based
acumulate după
on the
studierea cauzei
materials that
penale,
were
am ajuns la
gathered after
concluzia că
studying the
pot să
case,
deschid
I
această
reached the
cerere
conclusion
de
that
revizuire.
I can accept this review request.
When did you last have any contact with the prosecutor Van Grossen?
Contact, dacă s-are în vedere că
when
îl
you
mai
say
întâlnesc,
contact,
practic,
do you
în
mean that
fiecare zi
he-
pot să-l întâlnesc pe holurile
I mean, I may
Procuraturii
meet him
Generale,
every
unde și
day
dânsul
on the
iese,
hallways of a Prosecutor General's
activează
office
acolo.
because he's also
Nu
working there.
pot să fug
I
pe alte coridoare sau pe
cannot
alte
run
uși ca
away
să mă
on
dau ochii
other
cu
hallways
domnul
or
Gros.
go into other doors in order to
Eu am
avoid
fost procuror de
meeting
execuții
him.
din anul
I have
2002 și
been
până
an
anul 2022.
execution
Adică 20 de
prosecutor
ani,
for 20
eu am
years
fost
between
procuror de
2002
execuții.
and
Și am
2022,
fost superior
and I
procuraturii
was
militare începând cu anul 2009.
senior to the military
Când am
prosecutor's
plecat în
office
secția
starting in
investigații și
2009 when I
infracțiuni
moved to this
Nu
section for
consider
investigations
că-
and crimes in
sau
armed forces.
Susțin sau insist că nu am avut careva
am
influențări
not,
din partea domnului Gros sau altor persoane.
I did not have any influence from Mr. Gross or other people. I did not have any meetings with them.
In your opinion, did you have a potential conflict of interest in the examination of lawyer Grigoriu Ciobanu application?
Deci, eu am raportat faptul,
I
după cum s-a
reported,
recuzat domnul Dimitriev,
as
eu am
Mr.
raportat
Dimitriev
același fapt și șeful meu,
recused,
care era
I reported the same thing to my line manager, Mr. Croitorul. Interim, he was also an execution prosecutor, but he was an acting manager, so I informed him, and that request
a fost vizată de către secția judiciară
was
penală, care și
endorsed
le-a
by the
repartizat
judicial
în
and
Procuratura
criminal
Militară
section,
Chișinău
which
conform competenței.
distributed it to the
Însă,
Chișinău
conform
Military
rezoluțiilor
Prosecutor's Office according to the area of
adjunctului procuror
competence.
general,
But according to the resolution of the
cred că
Deputy
s-a decis
Prosecutor
anume
General,
din
it
această
was
cauză
decided
ca să fie repartizate
for this reason for the request to be
structurii
assigned to
superioare
the entity
față de
that was
procuratură pentru
superior to
a exclude
that
careva
prosecutor's
dubii
office in
referitor
order
la
to
conflictul de
exclude
interes.
potential doubts about a potential conflict of interest.
Are you aware of the grounds for the prosecutor's recusal, self-recusal, and abstention provided in Articles 54 and 33 of the Criminal Procedure Code of Moldova and Prosecutor's Code of Ethics?
Sigur că le cunosc.
Of course I know them.
Chiar și le-am indicat în răspunsul
I actually mentioned them in the answers that I provided to them. I have not examined it previously. This was my first experience, and I think most unpleasant experience in my entire work, because of which I was also envisaged in various situations like disciplinary proceedings, some journalist articles, even though I was not influenced. And I know the articles of the provisions of Articles 54 and 33. We are not related by blood or by marriage.
Niciuna din circumstanțele prevăzute în articolul 33
well,
din
none
Codul
of
Procedură
the
Penală
circumstances
nu pot fi incriminate
in
mie
Articles
ca
54 and
fiind
33
care
of
eu
the
aș
Criminal
fi
Procedure
putut
Code
să mă abțin
none of
de
them can be
examinarea
invoked as
acestei cereri.
valid or
Eu aș fi
applicable to
procedat așa
me,
cu
which would
oricare cerere,
make
nu
me
doar cu domnului Gros,
not appropriate
pentru
to
că
investigate
mi-a
this,
fost
to
coleg,
examine this
fiul
request.
dânsului.
So it would be valid with all other prosecutors, not so no influence with being colleagues with Mr. Grosu.
During the examination of lawyer Grigoriu Ciobanu application, were there any formal circumstances foreseen in Articles 54 and 33 of the Criminal Procedure Code under which you had to make self-recusal or abstention from examination of the mentioned application?
Nici cu avocatul Ciobanu, nici cu
Neither
inculpatul
with
Grosu Ivan
lawyer
nu m-am
Ciobanu
întâlnit
nor
și nu
with
au fost
convicted
careva
person
tentative din exterior sau din
Grosu
interior de
Ivan. I
colegi
have never
ca
met
să fiu cumva
them.
influențată
There were no
să poată
attempts
decizii
coming from
pe care
colleagues or
le-au
anyone
luat
else
la
for me
convingerea
to
mea,
influence
după
me
părere
in the decision that I make. So
corectă,
I
însă și
made the
dacă
decision
instanța
according to my
considera că
beliefs, and
probele
if the
acumulate de
court
către mine nu
believed
sunt
that the evidence
pertinente
gathered by me
sau
was
nu
not
fac
pertinent
parte a
or
obiectului revizuirii, conform
not
articolul 464
appropriate for their
alineatul 4,
review, according to
prin sentință se resping
appropriate
materialele.
article paragraph, they would have
Adică
rejected the materials gathered by me.
influențat cu altcareva
So
form
I did
nici instanță, nici alte persoane și nici eu nu
not,
am avut
I did
careva
not
presiune
influence
asupra
the
adoptării
court
unei
or
sau
the
alte decizii.
people, and I did
Cu atât mai mult până la
not face any
expedierea
pressure
materialelor în
towards
instanță,
making a specific decision.
șeful ierarhic
Moreover,
superior
before
a
submitting
luat
the materials
cunoștințe, nu am
to
avut
the
careva obiecții
court, the
asupra
line prosecutor
legalității
checked these materials, and there were no comments on the legality of gathering evidence
acțiunilor
or
careva abuzive din
acts
partea
or
mea.
potential misuse of my working duties,
Consider că
powers.
am acționat
So I believe that
în
I
favoarea exercitării
acted
obligațiunilor de serviciu.
according to the way I have to perform my job duties.
Arunc la coș.
I couldn't just take that request and throw it into
Conform
the
rezoluțiilor
bin.
am și acționat.
I acted according to
solicitat cauza
resolutions.
penală, am
I asked for the
studiat
criminal
probele,
case. I studied the
am
evidence.
ajuns la concluzia
I
mea,
reached
după părerea
my
mea,
conclusion
corectă.
according to my opinion. It was correct.
When you received for examination the request to open the procedure for reviewing the criminal proceedings submitted by the lawyer Grigore Ciobanu, did you consider your abstention or self-recusal?
Eu acest fapt l-am aflat doar după ce mi-a
I
fost
found
repartizat
out
cererea
about
de
that
revizuire,
only
nu cunosc
after that request
și nu
was
cred
assigned
că
to me.
și
I don't know. I
șefii
don't
mei
think
nemijlociți
my
cunoșteau
line
că
managers
cererea care
even
mi-a fost
knew that the
repartizată pentru
request
examinare
assigned to
era
me for
cumva legată
examination
de
was
un careva
somehow
potențial
related to a
conflict de
potential
interese.
conflict of interests.
Eu acest fapt l-am aflat pe
I
parcurs,
found
adică
out about
de
that
materiale am aflat
over
că
time
a
from the
fost
materials.
solicitat de către
I
conducătorul procuraturii
found out
militare,
that
redistribuirea către o
the
altă
head of
secție sau altă
the
procuratură.
military
Dacă a
prosecutor's
decis
office asked
conducerea
for a reallocation or redistribution to another subdivision. And then it was the management of the office of the prosecutor general who decided. No people were trying to influence the decisions of the office of the prosecutor general, and that subdivision was aware of it because the judicial criminal unit was aware of that request because it was them who reassigned the case for examination to Chișinău Military Prosecutor's Office, where Prosecutor Ivan Grosu was actually working.
Do you have something to add or clarify on this issue?
Vreau doar să adaug
I just want to
sau
add
să-mi susțin poziția
or
că
to
am
support my
acționat
position
în limitele
that I
atribuțiilor de
acted
serviciu,
within
după
the
părerea
boundaries
mea,
of my
dacă,
job duties.
Careva influențări nu am avut
I
nici din partea colegilor,
was not
special din
influenced,
partea
not by
apărătorului,
colleagues, especially not by the defense counsel
culpatului,
or
fiului
by the
acestuia
convicted
sau
person
altor
or by
șefi
his
mai
son or
superiori față de
any
care
other
eu
high-level
n-am
managers
fost careva
for me to
Eu
fulfill
consider că
some
am
of their
procedat corect și
indications.
urma să
I
citez
believe
asemenea
that I
circunstanțe
acted
pentru
correctly,
nu orice
the way I should
situație,
have
pentru că
acted
ultimul
in
timp,
any situation of a similar kind, because
condamnată
Moldova
la
was
Curtea
being
Europeană
convicted
pentru
at
Drepturile Omului,
the
anume pentru
ECHR,
încălcarea unui
particularly
proces
for
echitabil.
violating the fair trial principles.
Și urmam să fiu, adică după părerea mea, urmam
And
posibil
in
că
my
dacă nu
opinion,
examinam,
I was
urmam să fiu
thinking,
învinuit că
should I not examine that case, I would have been accused that because of me, Moldova lost yet another case before the European
în
Court.
acțiuni de regres,
And,
urmam să fiu
in a-
urmărit civil ca să
There could have been an application or a civil lawsuit against me to recover the damages caused, potentially.
Thank you for your answers.
Let me ask if my colleagues have any additional questions.
Dacă permiteți,
If I may,
domnule procuror,
esteemed
așa o
prosecutor,
întrebare de concretizare.
a clarification question. After your decision to start the review,
Tot dumneavoastră
were you the one supporting this position in court, before the court? Or was it another prosecutor who represented?
Mulțumesc pentru întrebare.
Thank you for your question.
Eu am participat doar
I,
la o singură
took part
ședință, unde
in
am fost în ședința
one
preliminară.
meeting only, the
înaintatea
preliminary
materialelor
one, when
corespunzătoare
I
și
submitted the appropriate
în ședința
materials.
preliminară am
And in that
solicitat
preliminary
admiterea
hearing or
cererii
meeting,
de
I
ulterior,
just requested that
procuraturii
the
militari și
re-examination would be
militare a fost
accepted.
lichidat prin hotărârea
And
Parlamentului.
after that, the military
respectiv,
prosecutor's office was, and the section were
Dispoziția de participare
closed
în
down by
instanță
decision of the
judecată a
Parliament,
fost,
and then
repartizată
the
către Procuratura
order to take
Municipiului Chișinău.
part in the court
Conform
hearings was assigned to
actelor
Chișinău
de primire,
Prosecutor's
predarea
Office according to the
tuturor
documents
materialelor.
on receipt and on transfer of all case materials. One more question. If you know or if you
asupra acestui caz, care a fost
finished the analysis on this case, what was the final decision? Did you follow it? What was the final decision?
contestat faptul revizuirii
Did
Nu pot să
did
comunic
anyone
acest
appeal
fapt,
that
chiar
request to
nu-
reopen to review the
ulterior
procedure?
Nu am avut
No, I don't know. I had no interest to follow that. I heard
au fost
that there have
dar,
been
pentru
some
mine a fost o
issues, but
experiență neplăcută și
this was an
eram tot
unpleasant
timpul,
experience for me.
atacat de către
I was
jurnaliști
always
că eu aș fi
attacked by
favorizat o
journalists
adoptare
as
decisii
if
sau
I
o altă
favored
dată. Chiar nu știu
adoption of a
care este
specific
soarta
decision,
sau
so I
care
really
este
don't know
mai departe
the outcome.
rezultatul
I don't know what was the
examinării
further result
cererii
of
instanței, dacă
examining
este
that request
careva
in
decizie
court and
la un moment,
whether
nu pot să vă spun.
there is a decision at this
Nu
point.
cunosc.
I don't know.
Dacă permiteți, anume
And
de asta
a
și
question, if I
luând în
may,
considerație că a fost
taking
în
into
față
account
public,
that
mai
it
multe investigații jurnalistice
was
pe acest domeniu.
discussed publicly, speaking of a journalist investigation in this area, please tell the Commission what is your opinion about what was said in the journalistic investigations and the information that that was communicated publicly. I mean, what's your position? What do you comment? I support my position. I acted within the boundaries of the Code of Ethics of Prosecutors, within the boundaries of the Criminal Procedure Code, Criminal Code. I still support my position, and in my opinion, it was legal and reasoned.
Președinte, nu mai am întrebări.
No more questions, Chairperson.
Saskia?
Yes, thank you. I have two questions for you. You have had a long career in the Office of the Military Prosecutor, but I think the case of 1999, you were not in the office yet. Is that correct? The initial case.
Nu. Nu.
No.
Am finisat abia universitatea.
I only graduated from university in 2001. I wasn't there.
Yeah, just check.
Couldn't be.
Had you heard of this case before it landed on your desk for the review?
I Nu am auzit niciodată.
I have never heard about it.
Prima dată
I
am
mean,
auzit de
the
acest caz
first
când mi-a
time
fost
I heard about that
repartizată
case
cererea. Nu am
when
auzit
that
vorbe,
request
nu am-
was
nu am citit
distributed to
în
me. I
spațiu
have
public
not
undeva
heard
că este
rumors.
sau
I
o
did not
cauză, că iată a fost
read in any
fost
publication that
condamnat
there was such a case,
sau-
that the person was convicted.
Prima dată
I mean,
am luat cunoștință
For the
de această
first
cauză când
time,
mi-a fost
I
repartizat și
found
am
out about this
solicitat-o
case
din
when it was
instanță.
assigned to me, and I asked for the materials from the court to study them.
Okay, thank you.
Armantis, I'll just see if you have any follow-up. No. Mr. Lavciuc, thank you for your participation at the hearing. I give you the opportunity to make any final statement that you'd like to the commission.
Deci, vă mulțumesc că
Thank you.
pentru efortul depus. Nu
for
mi-am
the
găsit
effort
speech-ul
you
special
made. I did not prepare any special
pentru
speech
încheiere,
for many closing
aș
remarks,
vrea să
but
spun,
I would like to say
sper că nu o să influențeze
I hope
decizia care
this
urmează să
will
o
not
adopte
influence the
Comisia în
decision the
privința
Commission
mea.
is going to pass about me.
Așa sentiment
To
care
issue about me,
îl
but
trăiești
the feeling
aici,
that
la
you feel
momentul
right
când
here
au
in the
fost
moment
recepționate
when
rândurile de întrebări,
and
am
also
simțit
in
doar
the
o dată în
moments when I
viață când am fost
received
testat
the
pozitiv la
question
COVID.
round questions, I felt the same
Doar
thing
că
only one
atunci
time
erau
when I
fost
got COVID
cântare
positive,
alte valori,
but
viața
other
personală
values
și
were
acum cariera,
at stake then. You know, it was my life, but
22
in
de
this
ani de
case,
viață,
it's my
nu
career, and
știați
I
ca
believe, you
parte
know,
este, adică
22 years of your life, you don't even know how big of a part of your life that
și
is.
consider și
And
insist
I
și
believe and I
îmi susțin
insist and
poziția că
I
am fost,
support my
am
position
fost
that
corect în acțiunile
I
mele.
was
Dar
correct
comisiei
in
ce
my
doresc
actions.
să-
And, you know, I would like to wish the Commission
să studieze,
to
să pună pe cântar
study,
toate
to
probele
weigh
pro și contra,
all evidence
să fie
for
o
and
echitate
against,
în
to make
cele
sure
de
that
care urmează să vă
there is
expuneți.
fairness in
Mulțumesc,
what you are going
celor
to
de acasă
issue.
care m-au
I would like to
susținut, familiei,
thank
copiilor, pentru
my
că
family, my children
a
for
fost o
supporting me,
perioadă
because
când,
indeed this has been
copilul revenise de la
a
studii,
period of time when my
dar
child came
iar
back from his
eu
studies,
nu am putut
his or
să-i
her
acord
studies,
timp pentru
and
că a
I
venit
could
5
not
zile și
spend
imediat
time with him
în
because
perioada aceea au fost recepționate,
he was home for 5 days, and that was
întrebările.
immediately the
Eu
period when
m-am
I received
dezis,
questions. So
practic,
I
de familie,
almost
perioada
gave up on my family for that
acordării
period of
răspunsurilor
time
la
while
întrebări.
providing answers to the questions.
Vă doresc dumneavoastră sănătate,
I
celor
wish
dragi,
all of you and your closest
celor de
people the
casă,
best of health.
mulțumesc pentru suportul acordat
I thank you
și
for
incomoditățile
the provided
poate
support
undeva
and
aparent că
maybe
au
some
fost create.
inconveniences that
pace
may have
și
happened.
succese, sper că
I
procesul
wish
care a demarat
success
el
to anyone,
să-și
and I
atingă
hope that
scopul
this
și
process
este
which
însuși
started
cel
will
care,
reach
care
its
urmează și
goals,
care a fi atins.
and it
Sănătate
will
tuturor,
reach
pace
its
și vă
expected
mulțumesc
results. I wish
pentru
best of health to everyone. I
oportunitatea
wish
de a,
peace to everyone, and I thank you for
însăși
the
procesul
opportunity.
este unul foarte complex, foarte
For this
foarte
opportunity, because the
stresant.
process
Cu
itself
atât
is
mai
very
mult că noi
complex
nu
and
suntem
stressful. You know, moreover,
educați,
we are not
să zicem chiar și financiar.
educated,
Eu nu știam că
even
trebuie să
speaking of
păstrez,
financial education. I
contractul
did not
din
know I
comun
was
din
supposed to
2011,
keep a loan
acordul
agreement
adițional
since
1, acord
2011,
adițional
the
2 la
additional
acest
agreement
contract.
number one
Păreri
and
de
number
bine
two to
pentru
that agreement.
mine, eu
Well,
undeva sunt mai
fortunately,
așa, mai
you know,
conservator, le-am
I'm a bit
păstrat
more conservative, and I
prin
kept
garaj,
them
prin safiu,
somewhere in the
prin,
garage,
pe care
garage,
le-am
somewhere in the
găsit.
safe,
Dar
and I found them.
colegilor care
But
vin și care
colleagues that are coming and
siguranță că sunt și de ăștia care
I'm
nu
sure there are
dispun
people
de
that
documente,
don't have
eu vă asigur că
those
începând cu
documents.
anul ăsta
But
la
I
mine
assure you that
o să
starting
fie
this
tot
year,
ori în Excel, ori în
I
mapă,
will keep
ori în
everything
zarfeu,
either in an
ori
Excel
în,
spreadsheet, in a folder, or in the
reieșind din
safe, or
întrebările care
somewhere,
sunt adresate,
based
îți dai
on the
seama
questions
că
that are
noi
asked.
nu
You
suntem
realize that
educați,
we
financiar
don't have a
corect,
proper financial
chiar
education.
și pentru a aduna undeva cecurile de
Just
care
to
Comisia are
collect the
nevoie să
receipts
prezinți
that
dovadă.
the
M-am stabilit
Commission
să
may
fiu
need to see as
maxim
proof.
de
I
diligent
try
și de
to
corect și am fost maxim
prove
deschis cu
maximum
Comisia,
diligence, and I
pentru că
was
nu am ce
as
ascunde,
open as possible with the Commission
totul
because I
este
have
la zi.
nothing to hide.
Vă
Everything's
mulțumesc
at sight.
dumneavoastră încă o dată
Thank
și
you once
echipei
more.
care vă susține
I would like to thank the team that supports you
activitatea pe care o faceți.
in the work that you do.
Thank you, Mr. Lavciuc. The commission will now deliberate on the matter and issue our decision as soon as possible. So the hearing is closed. Thank you again for your participation.
Mulțumesc, o zi bună.
Thank you and have a nice day.